XRP's market cap ratio is usually between 100x and 600x. In other words, it will be 100x to 600x easy for us to raise the price of XRP. Not sure about this. I get it. A lot of people don't know what market cap factors mean. In today's video, I wanted to show you real proof that a market cap multiplier can work with Bitcoin. I also wanted to let you know ahead of time about the companies that those market cap factors would be. We also have our market cap factors and a bias study. We'll then talk about how big this is going to be for XRP and maybe some other crypto assets we own. The first thing we should do is look at the data we already have. This is in front of us. We'll be shocked if we try to find it here. I will show you what the market cap multiplier or Bitcoin multiplier is. This number tells you how much the market value of Bitcoin goes up every time buyers bring in money. It displays how the value of an object changes when fresh cash comes in. This is very important when looking at how big controlled investments like the spot Bitcoin ETF change prices. In March, Bank of America did a study that said the market value of Bitcoin would grow 118 times for every $1.00 that was put into it through these ETFs. This was before everything began. Some schools looked at 48 to 106x as well. For every dollar put into the spot Bitcoin ETF, JP Morgan Security said the market value would change 25 times. But how much is 25? Is it 100? Is there something real? And we can look at life. That is true, yes. Here's something from this week. The following shows times in July 2025 when money came in. The Bitcoin ETF brought in a net of $2,750,000,000, 0 cents in new money for the US in the week ending July 13, 2025. It was $1,760,000,000, 0 cents from BlackRock alone. If the price went up from 111,800 to 123,000 or $12.00, huge amount of money into ETF at the same time. That's an extra 10% or $11,300, 0 cents. In other words, Bitcoin's market value grew 74 times. The XRP record is much more valuable than Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Oh no, when you put $1, 0 cents into Bitcoin, its value goes up 74 times. How many times does this amount equal the market value of XRP? That's what I want to talk about now. I did mean to show you some of this biz work. They thought it was so important that they had to write an entire paper about it. This is about 30 pages of information that I'm not going to go over again, but it gave me some background. Putting what the BIS says about this on the screen will help you understand it. They said the crypto multiplier is an idea that keeps track of how much the value of coins changes on the market when a lot of money comes in or goes out of investors' accounts. The market cap changes 74 times because of the money coming in. If the money is going through, the market cap can drop 74 times if there are no sales. It works both ways. Then it's the ratio of the total number of coins to the coins that are spent instead of being saved. When most coins are held as investments and not used to pay for things, the crypto multiplier is big. This means that even small changes in the amount of money that buyers put into or take out of the market can cause big changes in prices. It also tells you why this is important. Most coins are held as investments, which makes the exchange rates very unstable. This is tied to the crypto multiplier. There are bigger changes in prices. It does say that most of the coins in big cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum are not being used for deals. More than 75% of Bitcoin and 60% of Ethereum are not being used, which points to a big multiplier. It does have stronger reactions. This helps you understand why prices change so quickly when big investors move money, famous people endorsing a product, or there is a financial problem. Here is the math that is in the paper. For some, I don't want to go through this with everyone else for some reason. You may have turned off the movie, but you can still watch it if you really want to. They do use some real life examples, but I don't want to focus on them because they're from a long time ago and don't really tell me anything about the market in 2025. The study does say that these things have bigger effects, though. In the case of the collateral list, the multimer effect means that the value of large crypto stocks may be much lower when they are sold than their market value. Let me check everyone C177. Check this out. Value of a coin on the market. No, XRP is worth $174 billion, 0 cents on this market. That means XRP does not have $174 billion, 0 cents in cash on hand. That number there is called the market cap, but there aren't nearly that many coins out there. It does talk about long-term uncertainty. As long as cryptocurrencies are mostly used for payments and not investments, they are likely to stay very unstable. Cryptocurrencies with a larger market share tend to be less unpredictable, but the multiplier still has a big impact. I've never heard this story before, so it's interesting. To help myself understand the idea better, I made a few pictures about market cap multipliers, but hearing the bias explain it to me is what really makes it sink in, so I'm not making this up. It's taken a lot of time for schools and other groups to figure this out. We now understand it, and I think it will make a big difference. I know you came here to look at some cool XRP ledger stuff. Let me show it to you. That'll be great with you here. In just 12 hours, XRP went from $248.00 to $268.00, a 20-foot jump. The market value went up to $1,139,000,000,000, 0 cents. When it got new money, worth about $114 million, 0 cents. This useful data was shared by Chad Steingraver. I need to thank him for that. He does a great job. Plus, I've already shown you these stories. Now I want to talk about XRP. What do you think will happen with XRP if Bitcoin 74X still stands? In July 2025, the spot ETF is about to show up. Are they on their way? Since then, at least $100 billion, 0 cents is poured into Bitcoin. Hey, XRP can be used in a great way. We believe they work with some of the world's largest banks. We should be able to use this when Ripple turns into a bank, right? Let's talk about that. Truth. If you really want to, please read this again. I'm not going to read about what a market cap multiple is. This is where the movie is now. I'm sorry if I didn't explain it well enough. If you want to read it again, here it is. But here it is. I think it's most important to learn something new, right? Like what we see now. Many times, XRP has been worth between 200x and 600x. In 2025, it will be 200 or even 600 times easier to get to $10, 0 cents, or $100, 0 cents if we use these methods and numbers. I see that. Many of you know a lot about the subject, so please tell me what you think about what you see below. I'd also like to know how you're getting this information from what I'm reading. The XRP market cap went up by $17 billion, 0 cents, when net inflows of $80 million, 0 cents happened. It was a 212x case. One more time, here it is. Because of another event that brought in $12,870,000, 0 cents. The market cap went up by $7,700,000,000, 0 cents, which is a 601-fold gain